Here to continue the discussion, retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General and former United States Deputy Military Representative to NATO, Blaine Holt. General Holt, always good to see you. The U.S. saying this week that it can and will sustain our naval blockade of Iran indefinitely. Trump says we have total control over the strait, but ship traffic clearly nowhere near what it was before the war. So there are two different things here. Let's talk about the blockade. This is the squeeze play against Iran and the Iranian economy. Do you think that that will work? And your thoughts on the U.S. saying that we're going to maintain this as long as it takes?
Yes, economically, we're strangling them, and it's not just with the visuals of a blockade, Tom. We've been doing it by disrupting laundering networks that involve shadow banks and networks that go around the world, including the cartels. And so that is going well. What we're about to see the Treasury Department do is expand that ring out and now start to deal with nations that seem to not be able to stop dealing with Iran economically, and we're going to take that on. But right now you're looking at a U.S. dollar would be worth $1 million reals last year at this time. Now $1 million reals will only get 53 cents. So things are changing rapidly in Iran because of these measures. Iraq is helping as well. And it's just going to take a little bit more time to weaken the IRGC enough to where the Iranian people can take this up in their own way. But the straits are largely passable. There are going to be sporadic attacks, but the insurance monopoly, Lloyd's, is not helping us either.
So the blockade is one thing, and it seems to be working in terms of squeezing the Iranian economy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the strait is open to the extent that commercial shipping is comfortable transiting the waterway in a way where we can see, a meaningful impact on gas prices. So talk to us about this new drone program, Falcon Strike, and whether you think that will help get more ships through, and that will convince these companies that this is a safer environment.
Yep, no, Falcon Strike is a really great initiative, and having us, you're seeing in real time the United States military reorganize itself with its lessons learned on the fly with drone warfare. We're now going to have drone organizations commanded by a focused unit in that. And it won't just be offensive operations. It'll be to counter some of these submersible drones, some of the smaller ones. It's very, very smart. And then the other part is you got to take away all the reasons for these insurers to say you can't pass the straits. We have ships that could go through if they wanted a U.S. military escort, but the insurance companies are like, if you play ball with the U.S., we're going to hit you in other parts of the world.
CENTCOM this week, General, also pushing back on reports about conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, including possible suicides after the vessel's longer than usual deployment. CENTCOM saying in a statement, quote, the USS Abraham Lincoln has maintained among the highest crew re-enlistment rates, 84.4% of all aircraft carriers in the U.S. Navy. The Secretary of War also saying that the reports have been mischaracterized. Watch.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment. Some deployments are longer than others, and I have more respect and gratitude for those sailors than anybody.
General Holt, what do your sources tell you about the strain that we may be seeing among our forces and the kinds of steps that the military takes to address mental health under these circumstances?
Yeah, there's no question that the operations tempo, especially with this war, is grinding, and it's exceptional, especially hard on our Navy sailors. And those men and women are serving gallantly, and they deserve nothing but our greatest respect. And part of that respect means no matter what is said, we have to look into their claims and the situations that got us to the place where we have to have a carrier deck at sea for 251 days straight. that gets me to the logistics place. And the logistics place is, how are the dry docks doing? What's rotation look like? What are we investing in being able to rotate these forces? And that's where we probably need to be, and we need to honor their service by digging into that hard. But Hung Kao, the Navy Secretary, he's been there. He understands that. I don't know an admiral that doesn't go mama bear if their sailors aren't taken care of. And so we'll peel this back, and this will get right.
All right, exit question for you, General. The U.S. also set to withdraw its last troops from Iraq by September 30th, ending a military presence that dates back to the 2003 invasion. Is pulling troops out of Iraq while the U.S. is still engaged in this Iranian conflict a wise move at this time? Or are there risks there that we're not accounting for?
Tom, you and I can both see the risks to this, but neither of us has the intelligence that's informing that decision. I have never seen a time where we have reduced troops in Iraq and it's worked out for us. However, there's great complexities there, and Iraq is standing up on her own, and maybe it's the right answer. Time's going to bear this one out. This one's a real toughie.
Yeah, absolutely. The president, though, did have what was characterized as a very positive meeting with the new Iraqi prime minister recently, and it does seem that the relationship is a productive one at this point. We will see. Brigadier General Blaine Holt, always appreciate you, sir. Thank you for being here.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.